Okay, so we're gonna do like we did like we did last night. We're gonna do another um I just forgot what I was gonna be doing here. Shadow work, okay, and this is concerning self-worth. Alright. A lot of times and it also goes off the last relationship where we're talking about relationships last night. We're gonna talk about self-worth now. Self-worth. What is self-worth, right? We all deal with that same challenge in our life where oftentimes we can have a relationship where someone made us feel less than we really are. Um, you know, let's face it, people have to put others down, and I don't understand why. I really don't. That's a part about life that I don't fully understand yet. Why people have to put other people's down, but except for the fact out of fear and not wanting to accept responsibility for their own actions. Okay, but when people put you down, it does affect your self-worth. When people reject you, it affects your self-worth. When people don't reciprocate, I mean, the same thing's rejection, but even when people don't communicate with you, when people shut you out, or, so even when people breadcrumb you, right, just give you little bits and pieces and then kind of drag you along, it makes you feel bad about yourself because you wonder why. What's wrong with me? Okay. Truth is, there's nothing wrong with you. There really isn't. We're not made to be allowed to be to made less than what we feel. Okay. Now, mind you, I'm going to reiterate this. I'm not a psychiatrist. I am not a therapist. I'm telling you about shadow work, and part of shadow work is dealing with our self-worth, dealing with how we feel about ourselves and how we see each other. I mean, how we see ourselves, because our perception of ourselves is far more important than anybody else's perception. A lot of times people put us down after a bad relationship, especially our partners. There's always you did this, she did that, you said this, she said that kind of crap going on, right? There's always someone who's pointing fingers, okay? The bottom line is, the truth is, the reason why a relationship failed is because it wasn't meant to be. And that's just a plain out truth. It really is. And when someone rejects you, it just wasn't meant to be. Chances are you have a divine feminine or a divine masculine somewhere within your close proximity that you're supposed to choose, and you didn't. And and the thing with self-worth is you have a choice. The same thing as last night. About choices, right? We have a choice on how we perceive ourselves. It's okay to get down for a while, and it's okay to grieve a failed relationship. It's okay to feel bad about yourself, but at some point in time, you have to go into a self-reflective mode and see yourself for who you really are. And I did that with that one guy that I told you guys about the last time we did this recording. The one guy that did a lot of bad things to me, and said a lot of bad things to me. He accused me of me being the reason the relationship fell. No, the relationship fell because he took all my money. He cleaned me out. And that's just a flat out truth. Once the money's gone, or once there's and that's a part that you gotta understand. If somebody is with you to use you for your money, the universe takes money out of your life, okay? Because it's to bring forward the truth that the person's using you. If someone's using you for sex, they'll bring in other people because it's meant to protect you, and those other people have to learn lessons. If someone is, there's various reasons. There's a reason for everything. There's a reason people come into our life, and there's a reason people do what they do. And what's important is that we still pick up the pieces and we move forward. What's important is that at some point in time, our self-worth and our confidence in ourselves is returned. At the end of the relationship that I had with that guy, it took me about a year and a half to really clear out all the negative self-talk, all the negative, the negative pattern that he put into my life that made me feel devalued. Okay, and every so often I run across people who make me feel devalued, right? And that's more of a test to see if you've learned your lesson. And the truth is, I haven't learned my lesson. Because why? Because we're spiritual beings having a human experience, right? And I'm sure you've heard that more than once by multiple readers, because it's true. We're spiritual beings here to have a human experience, you know, and the human experience is the 3D. Human experience is the tangible stuff that we can touch, right? The 5D is stuff we can't touch. That's faith. Having faith that God has a plan for us. Having faith that our choices are going to lead us to where we should be. I'm not, you know, no one's ever perfect. We all make mistakes. We all make bad choices. And sometimes those choices challenge our self-worth because we feel bad, because sometimes we might hurt someone that we didn't mean to. Sometimes we hurt someone that we didn't want to hurt. You know, sometimes we don't speak up when we should have. Sometimes we don't take advantage of certain things when we wish we did. And that's okay. And believe it or not, unless someone shuts the door, there's always a chance to go back and make amends. Self-confidence is not about your mistakes. Self-confidence is about not giving up. Self-confidence is about understanding that we all make mistakes, and that's okay. Self-confidence is, I should say self-worth is understanding that sometimes people do and say things to us that it's not as their perception, but not our own. Okay? What's important is that you develop a healthy perception of yourself, and that's the truth, right? So when we're doing shadow work, when you're doing shadow work, that's one of the things you have to you're going to have to face is self-worth. Yeah, self-worth is hard. And I think that's the hardest part, because oftentimes we compare ourselves to the Joneses, right? And I'm sure you're familiar with that subject. But the truth is, we're all here learning at our own pace, at our own time. And sometimes we choose the wrong person when we should have chose the other one, right? And that's okay. If it's meant to be, that person will still be there. All right? Just don't let pride and ego get in the way, which I'm going to be honest with you. I do have pride. I do have ego. We all do. And to some extent, some are more than others. I'm probably more than others. I don't like being told that I'm not good enough, because I know deep down I am. Okay? I'm not strong. I might come off as strong. I might be intimidating, but I'm not strong. Because the truth is, I am weak. The truth is, I'm not perfect. But that's my self-worth. Because I know that I deserve to be happy. Even though I may not be perfect, but I deserve it. That's your self-worth. Self-confidence is not giving up. Do not give up. Do not give up on love. Do not give up on hope. Do not give up on relationships when they go bad, because when you shut your, a lot of times self-worth is about the heart chakra, right? And the heart chakra, especially after the one breakup I had, my heart chakra closed up because I was devastated, because the guy used me, and I knew he used me. But so my heart chakra closed I was probably closed for about a year and a half, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it just opened, and I finally had feelings for the first time, where before I didn't. Those feelings were closed off when I was in that bad relationship, and I needed time to heal. Okay, some of my biggest regrets is my biggest regret is allowing someone like that ex to affect my self-worth, because my self-worth is my perception, nobody else's, and I don't care what people have to say. And that's just the truth of it. And you guys, I'm being called to do these videos, okay? I understand you guys want your questions answered. You guys will get your questions answered. I'm still trying to figure something out right now. But for right now, I'm going to be doing these videos until I get something taken care of, okay? The lives are not over. They're just postponed. But for right now, we're going to talk about shadow work until I can get back to doing lives again. So Shadow work and shadow work is usually brought up around relationships that ended. Shadow work is one of the hardest things that we can ever go through, especially in spirituality. And learning how to respect ourselves. Respect. What is respect? Right? Look it up in the definition. How can you respect yourself? If you don't know your own self-worth, how can you set healthy boundaries? Healthy boundaries is saying, I'm not going to accept anything less than this. I'm not going to accept anything less than being loved. I'm not going to accept anything less than you accepting me as I am. We're not perfect, you know, and anybody is looking for someone perfect, I think you're not going to find it. You'll never find a relationship, because that's just not what it is. And any reader that tells you should dump someone, that's not a true reading, because you need to follow your heart and your own intuition, and don't rely on what other people tell you. Okay? That is confidence. That's self-confidence. And that's knowing your self-worth. That's knowing that you know what's best for your life. Nobody else does. I don't care what they say. Nobody else does. If someone tells you to not talk to someone, that's not their business. That's a cult. That's not. No one should ever tell you not to talk to someone unless they're in a relationship with you. And then maybe you probably shouldn't talk to other women. But I mean, I can't. I mean, my friends, you know, may them rest in peace. You know, they're not with me this year. Unfortunately, I lost a lot of them last year, and it wasn't because of the pandemic. It was for other reasons. But they would always tell me how to do things, because I didn't have enough self-confidence within myself to know what was right. I didn't listen to my gut, right? So I love them. I do. But my biggest mistakes in life is listening to other people. And that's just the truth of it. You cannot listen to other people. You cannot let other people dictate your life. Okay? That there's a certain level of you know what's best. Okay? And I'm not trying to disrespect anybody who's trying to do right by their friend. You know what? I'm sure you were, but you still don't know what's right for your friend. Even your friend keeps returning to the same person over and over again, that's their business, not yours. Same thing with you. If you want to return back and forth to that boyfriend or girlfriend and keep trying, that's your business, you know? I mean, if you get caught up in a negative cycle, that's your business. Nobody else's. Spirit guides, what do you guys have for our viewers concerning self-confidence? What do you have for our viewers concerning self-confidence? Self-confidence and self-worth, okay? Alright, you guys. So, self-confidence, right? It's all about doing, and it's funny how it says this, do what feels right. Do you see that? I don't know if you, I'm sorry, you guys. It says, Lady Portor, divine order, do what you feel is right. An important lesson is unfolding. And that goes along with doing what you feel is right, not what other people, because that's their lessons. When you take other people's perception, other people's choices as your own, you're taking on their lessons. You're not learning your own, you're learning theirs. Their lessons is to stay out of your business. Okay? And I'm not trying to rat anybody out for being nosy or involved in other people's life, but the truth is, you gotta do what's right for you. Nobody else's. Okay? You have to stand in your power. You have to find your value in this world. You have to find your confidence. And here comes my cat. I'm sorry. She loves this. So when you do what you feel is right, right or wrong, that's your lesson. Nobody else's lesson. Correct? So don't take other people's opinions, perception, suggestions, or, don't let people live your life for you, because you're living their lesson. Why would you want to live their lesson and your lesson? That's too much to handle, because they still have to live their lesson, and they will get bad karma. You get negative karma for giving people advice, because you need to stay out of it. The bottom line is that we're all here to learn our own lessons in our own timing. Nobody else's. Even right now, I have I do have a specific friend that likes to get in there and tell me how to live my life. But yet their life is worse than mine. What right do they have, right? And even if their life was perfect, they still don't have any business telling me what I should do. They have no business getting into my business. Now, if I need advice, I'll go to my mom. And I might ask another friend, but then I look at it and I still decide what's best for me. Okay? My mom's a very wise woman. Okay? But she still doesn't know what's right for me either. And it's not me trying to, diss her or anything or disrespect her. But a lot of times, what she would do and what I would do are two different things because we are two different people. But I do take into consideration what she says. And that's kind of what spirituality is too, you guys. And that's what shadow work is you review certain things that you like and you get rid of the stuff that you don't like. There's certain things you're going to believe in that I don't. And there's certain things you're going to believe in that the difference, vice versa, right? So let's talk about that, okay? So that's self-confidence. Self-worth. Your thoughts are magnetic and powerful. Miraculous changes are occurring. Self-worth affects your mindset. If you have low self-worth, you're going to have a negative thought process, right? If you have low self-worth, you're going to attract low vibrational people. If you have low self-worth, you're going to attract low vibrational problems. Okay? Basically how you increase your vibration is seeing who you really are and accepting who you are. And start thinking positive. Start being more optimistic that things will work out the way they're supposed to. Be optimistic that the person that you want or the person that the person you want in your life still wants you. Maybe the person you want to become is still possible. You can make a choice to change that. Everything is a choice. You can make bad choices up until today, and then tomorrow start making better choices, and your life turns for the better. And you'll notice how fast your life changes when you start making more, the higher vibrational choices, the more positive choices. Okay, and one of those things is not taking other people's perceptions as your own. It's probably the hardest thing you can ever go through in life, okay? Because there's certain people you love and you respect. There are certain friends of mine that I adore. I adore them. They're wise people. They've lived a long life, a lot longer than me. But I still will not take their advice. I'll take it into account, but I'm still going to do what I want. Okay? And I caught a couple of them shaking their head at me in the past when I didn't do what they told me to. But last time I did what they told me to, it blew up in my face. So why am I going to do that again, right? It's insane. That's insane to try to listen to someone who's telling me how to live my life because they don't know what's best for me. Only I do. I know what's in my heart. I know what I feel. I know what I'm passionate about. I know me. Only I know me. Nobody else knows me better than me. And this is not being selfish. This is taking responsibility for your own life. Because the minute you take other people's perception of your own, you're giving your freedom away. You're giving control over your life away to somebody else who doesn't matter. So when you're dealing with these negative relationships, when you get out of a karmic relationship, the ones that put you down all the time, and then after it's all done and they're done using you, they throw you to the curb and treat you like shit and basically gaslight you into thinking that you're an insane person. None of that ever happened, even though you know it happened, right? Those are karmic partners. And those karmic partners push their perception onto your self-worth and your self-confidence. Those people shake you up. And at the end of the day, how you feel about yourself and what you think about yourself is far more important than what those karmics did. Okay, because those karmics are only seeing the negative of you. They're not seeing what's really there. They don't see the truth. Okay? One of the things is that I've been accused of being too loving. Okay, are you kidding me? I'm too loving. Okay, so I'm not loving next time. You're cold. I can never make anybody happy. Well, why? Because I'm taking other people's perception, other people's opinions as my own. And so I go about my life the way that I need to, okay? I'm going to be extra caring towards people. I'm going to be extra passionate towards people. And if I have to, I'm going to shut it all off. And if people don't like it, I don't care. And neither should you. Okay? This is me telling you, I'm just trying to help you guys understand that negative self-confidence, negative self-worth affects your vibration. Okay? It lowers it. It lowers your frequency to where you attract bad things. You don't want to do that. You want to raise your vibration. You want to, and I'm not perfect, okay, guys? There's sometimes I do low vibrational things, and afterwards I think like, oh my gosh, what did I just do? But we're only human. We make mistakes, and that's okay. Okay? There is no right or wrong when it comes down to our perception of ourselves. Okay? Because how we perceive ourselves is nobody else's business but our own. Alright? So, you really need to think about what it is that you want to attract and start putting your mind on that. Start attracting what you want. Okay? If you want to attract people who are higher vibrational, don't be shocked when you lose a lot of people. When I changed my vibration, I lost everybody. Okay? I lost all my friends. I lost everybody. And it wasn't until it was like 2 to 3 years later, those people that I lost, the ones that raised their vibration up to me, they came back. The ones whose vibration stayed low, they never came back. I tried to go talk to them. They were all happy to see me, but at the end of the day, our vibrations just didn't match, and that's the truth of it. Okay, you need to raise your vibration to be with certain people, and when you go into spirituality and you do stuff like this, right? We're doing this stuff. We are divinely protected, and it's kind of funny when I get people like, "Oh, so and so's doing black magic against you." Go for it. I'm divinely protected. Guess what? You're gonna have bad luck, bad karma. Okay, and that goes along when people try to put their perceptions against me. Can't do anything about it. You're on your own. Alright? So, basically your lessons, you guys, that you have to take with you tonight is understand that you cannot take other people's perception as your own. That lowers your vibration. You cannot allow people to tell you how to live your life because you're living their lessons, not your own. Those are not your lessons. That's theirs. Okay? Don't take on other people's baggage. And and one of the biggest things is I used to be somebody who would go on my way to help everybody. Sure, you need a ride? Go. I'll take you. Oh, sure. I'm there. I'll help you out. I'll do anything you need. But then they go and they give their energy to somebody else, or they completely ignore the fact that I'm even there. That's their low vibration, because they're low vibrational. They can't see past their low vibration. I am here to help people, but not to help you guys move, not to help you pay your bills, but I'm here to help you see your value. I'm here to help raise the vibration of society, and I'm going to do it one person at a time, or 10. Looks like my last video only got 10 views, but it's okay. My guess is because it's not free readings, but I'm fine with it. I'm not offended. There is no right or wrong. Even if I could change 10 people's lives, if I could change 10 people's lives in 1 year, I'll be happy. So, and there's some food for thought. I want you guys to think about that and go about things. Okay, pay attention to your dreams as you're developing your spirituality. I have this book that I bought, and my cat's been laying on it as usual. But it's called 12,000 Dreams Interpreted. I always have dreams. I especially have dreams of people. Okay, some are premonitions, some are kind of goofy. The premonition ones, I notify them because I've actually had dreams come true, and that's the scary part. And there's still some dreams that have not came true that I'm not looking for, and I'm hoping those are just nightmares and not dreams, right? So let's just go ahead and stop this conversation here, okay, and start developing your shadow side for right now. Okay, start working through it, start getting through it, start understanding the process. Okay, and then I'll be back tomorrow for another subject. Thank you.